Well, hello there, fam. This is Charles here. Scott's wanted me to do this forever, but I haven't had any time because I got kids and a wife and job and responsibilities. But he wanted me to take a walk around the neighborhood and film it. And I'd been kind of reluctant because our neighborhood wasn't even on street view prior to this. But now that it is, I feel a little less reluctant. It's pretty obvious where it is. Here's my house, of course. You've all seen this in a video before. 2,000 square feet, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, a half-acre lot, and 2.5-car garage, which is epic. I love having that much space to store my cars. I keep my cars safe from the elements, and I can get in and out, not in the elements. So, where to begin? So most of the houses here were built in '70, and I bought my house in 2021 for $238,000, but everybody, when they sell something now, sell it for over $300,000. So I don't know if that's really what things are going for, or if it's just a weird fluke of the market right now. I would say mine is still more than $250,000. I haven't really changed much. When I bought it, the roof was already replaced, and so was the plumbing. So I got kind of lucky there. There's some exterior things I would like to maybe shore up a little bit, and I'd really love to replace my driveway because it's getting kind of rough. But what can you do? You can't win them all. So this is my little street here. There's about 20 houses on my street, and it's just a little, kind of cuts the neighborhood. It's kind of a little street tucked in behind the neighborhood. And as you can see, what's cool about my neighborhood is, though a lot of these houses were built around the same time, you see definitely a few different style patterns. And as part of why we picked it over, we looked at 2 other neighborhoods where the houses were newer. They're built in the 90s instead of the 70s. And the lots were, of course, smaller, and a lot of the houses looked more the same. And I know my friend Scott, who mainly is the one who wants to see this video, he also, houses built in the 90s tend to have more vinyl siding, whereas these houses from the 70s, of course, are mostly brick. So, and, you don't have to replace brick as often, so that is nice. But vinyl siding traditionally hasn't been a lot of money around here. I don't know if it will become more money in the future. So anyway, I'm gonna walk down so you can see, there are no sidewalks in the neighborhood, which is okay because traffic is light enough that it doesn't mostly matter because there's only one way in and out of the neighborhood. I think there's about 300 houses in our neighborhood. And we have a little park there in the middle. Maybe I'll walk through that on the way back. I'm trying not to get caught out with a bunch of weirdos asking me what I'm doing. But I think now, like I said, it's not going to be as weird being on camera because everything's on blast nowadays. So all the houses were built around 70 in here. And I don't know, it's a little bit older, but in some ways it feels nicer than stuff that's newer than it in here. So it's a positive. Right across there, that's where my neighbors live. My kids play with them a lot. And then my other neighbors live over there, and my kids will play with them a lot. But I'm going to do this video. I'm going to try to avoid them because I'll get stuck in like an hour conversation if I go over there right this second. So we'll go ahead and go down to the end of this street. This is like one of the main streets that bisects the middle of the neighborhood here. And so there's cars coming in and out of it all the time because a lot of the other streets come off of this one. And to the left, there's how you exit the neighborhood. If I don't get harassed too much, we may cut through the park and see the entrance of the neighborhood. We'll see. But yeah, it's like March 4th. It's 73 outside, so a lot of people have been outside today. Traffic was kind of heavy driving home. So yeah, I live about 20 minutes from downtown and 25 minutes from my office. And so it's weird because we're technically not in the city. And we're in the next county over from the major city, Lexington, and then we're not really in the city of Versailles either, which is the city in our county. And so it's kind of nice because here you see sometimes people fly down this road. This person's got a sporty car. They're turning. So it's kind of nice because we don't really have a lot of rules on our property, even though we are technically a homeowners association. but there's not really a ton of rules. So you can kind of do whatever you want. The downside with not being in the city, though, is that we all have septic tanks. We don't have a public sewer system, which, can be quite odd. It is nice to know that stuff's going farther away from you, but I guess we'll take it. Now, this house, I can't figure out what's going on with this house. I don't know if somebody bought it or not. It was uninhabited when I moved in. And so they actually spent the money to fix it up, which was cool. And I talked to the realtor who was trying to sell it. And I said, oh, it's awesome you fixed this up, because I don't like seeing a vacant house around the corner from me. But then they tried to sell it. And I guess I don't think anyone bought it. I don't know. I haven't seen any new people move in here. So maybe I did kind of think they wanted too much money. I thought they wanted too much money for it, because it's not any bigger than my house. And they wanted like $60K more than my house. And down this street here is where one of the families we go to church with lives down this street here. So we'll just keep walking straight down this main drag here, though. You can see some people here have more than 2 vehicles. Yeah, because that is one major downside of my neighborhood, is you can't walk to anything from my neighborhood. You have to get in a car. Things aren't far, like the big grocery store is only a 7-minute drive from here, but you can't walk there from here. It cannot happen. You may try, but you won't get there. You have to go out on one road that the speed limit's 35 and everyone goes 50 on. And then you would have to go on a major road where it's a 4-lane highway with people flying down it. So, yeah, you definitely need a car in my neighborhood. But once you get here, it's nice. You can see, bet you that hydrant hasn't changed in 50 years. Nice little hydrant there. And what I want to show you is we're going to walk down to the end of the street here. But we are surrounded by horse farms, so that's pretty cool. Not a lot of people get to have horses around them all the time. And, without having to pay, of course, to own a place where you can have your horses all the time. So, we're going to walk over that way, and then maybe we'll loop back through the park if we don't get too much harassment. But you can see, what I love is, again, so we have like this side split, level, and mine was a front back split level. And then, some of them are just regular houses. I'm kind of jealous of the people, though, who have their first floor is like just one floor and then the back is 2 stories, because mine's 1.5 stories on all of them. So I kind of still need to ladder it a bunch to get up onto things, whereas if I just had this regular first floor flat in the front, I wouldn't need to get up very high to fix anything. So a little jealous of that. Like that one right there, kind of jealous of that. But what can you do? It was absolutely the right size house that I wanted when I was going to get the house. It was, I got for $238,000, which again seems like not a lot now in hindsight with how much everybody else is paying. So, we're gonna come down here at the end of the street. I don't know if the horses will be out or not. They're out a lot, but they might be napping today. They like that warm sun. They'll go take a nap. But you can see now, and sort of in the back here, some of these people have even bigger houses, and I think maybe they're slightly newer. I don't know. Doesn't seem like much was built in here after 1980, though, from what I can tell. So, coming down here. There's a guy riding his bike with a dog. Oh. So yeah, more and more people will be trickling out after they get back from work. I got back slightly early, I think. Although there was a line of 10 cars in front of me turning left down our street, so everybody kind of got back at the same time. It's really weird being in a neighborhood where like everybody goes the same direction to and from work and everybody comes back at the same time. Definitely feel very, very part of the machine, but the neighborhood's nice being out here. See, those people got a giant bunch of firewood. A lot of people do have, like, I have a fireplace in my house. I don't really use it that much, but all these houses have fireplaces too, which a lot of more modern houses do not, or if they do, it's not one that's very easily used, whereas these are all pretty easily used. Although mine's really weird because it comes out in the basement. And I don't really think that would work very good for trying to heat the house if I had a power failure. So I don't know. Maybe I'll try one day. But I wanted to come to the end of the street, and hopefully I don't freak these people out by coming down the end of the street. But I wanted to show you all the end of the street here. I can smell something. You can see it is a awesome day here. 73 and sunny is about as perfect as it gets. So it is nice. And that's Fahrenheit for all my darn friends who operate on the Celsius. I don't know what to do with you. You don't have to convert today. I'm not bothering with conversions for you. So we're coming up on it, end of the line. My kids like to come to the end of this block. We ride around the neighborhood. And you see here, we back up to an enormous horse farm, which is super epic. Sometimes the horses do come up to the fence. They're not up to the fence today, though, probably because they've been harassed too much. They get to decide how much human interaction they want. Because they're horses. So yeah, you can see there's that giant mansion off in the distance, and then if you look over to the left here, the horses are back towards the main road. I'll zoom in for a second. There they are, down there in the left. And then you can see the giant mansion in front of us. I don't know how long this farm's been here. It's not one of the major ones in the area that everyone's heard of. So there's a couple of major ones, but they're on the other end of town for me. So I don't back up to a famous one. One of the ones down, it's at the other end of town from me, is called Lane's Inn Farm. And that is where Queen Elizabeth had horses for several years. Yes, that Queen Elizabeth. So, but I ain't got time to drive over there, and I don't want to get harassed or run off their property. So we'll go ahead and take a walk back down. We'll see if we can cut through the park without getting harassed by too many people. More people starting to trickle home. It's about 5:30 in the afternoon. So I left my office at 4:30. I probably could have left sooner, honestly, but I did a little more work because I felt like it. But yeah, I mean, the pace of life is pretty awesome here. You know, it's just very, very slow, very evenly spaced houses. Everybody's pretty chill here. And we do a once a year cookout in the middle of the park for all the neighborhood to come to. It's pretty nice. But it is slightly less connected of a neighborhood than my last one was where I was renting, but the houses in that neighborhood they're worth a bit more than here. So, and you know, and there's a little bit more like crime and just randos going through that neighborhood than this one. If somebody comes into this neighborhood who is not really like belonging here, people are instantly like, who's that? That's how because this neighborhood is, you know, like I said, it's basically 300 houses cut off a one-way in and out that you wouldn't even necessarily know was back here if you weren't looking. Got a runner over there. So we're gonna cut back through this one street that crosses through the middle. See if we can cut through the park. The park might be loaded with people right now, though. so it's nice and warm. Some people got boats over here, which is kind of interesting. To drive it a ways to find a lake from here. But hey, what? Something to do. I'm kind of jealous of some of the people around here getting new cars, and I want a new car, and I can't really afford one right this moment. But some other people got older cars too. We definitely have a good mix of young and old right now. I think some of the other generations were starting to move out. A lot of people my age are starting to move in here. So, and I'm about 35 in case you didn't know. So there's a lot of people at my age in life moving in. So pretty good. Anyway, so this is like so my neighborhood's split in like two halves on the other side of the park. So this is like a connector road that connects between the two halves. You see it's kind of a big hill. Tried to come over here and sled when it snowed, but they're really quick on plowing my street. So on the streets in here, so they already had it plowed. Wasn't anywhere to sled. Maybe one time. Maybe we can try and squeeze up in between that fence and the road. Try and sled. So you see it's going to widen out into a I call it, I mean, it's basically a field. Although there's like old remnants of a baseball field and really old basketball goal and a swing set and some stuff. But it's no humongous, it's no like super loaded park now. You can see even though it's done raining and it's been sunny now for 2 straight days, we had so much rain, it's still like overflowing into the storm water over there. But that's okay. It's not like gonna flood us or nothing, but it's just crazy. Look at that, just tons of water gushing through there. So now we're coming over here and go around the corner. And I think this house is super cool. The blue brick here with the big old patio. It's mildly envious of that house, although I'd feel a lot more exposed on the corner there. But not that much traffic comes back here anyway, because we're kind of in the back of the neighborhood. And there's that truck. And they just keep around this old beat up truck for some reason. I have no idea why. I guess they just don't feel like buying another one. If it's still running, I'm going to use it. So anyway, we're turning left down. All the streets are named after trees in here, obviously. My neighborhood's called Sycamore Estates, so everything's named after trees. And there's lots of nice old trees here, you know. Obviously, there's not any leaves on them yet because it's first week in March, but it's easier actually to see stuff without the trees, kind of. Now we're going to roll up into the park. Hopefully not get harassed, and I'll show you what the front of my neighborhood looks like. Then we'll turn off the video. So as you can see, even though it's like 300 houses, because these are kind of big half-acre lots, you know, I've been walking for almost 20 minutes and haven't left my neighborhood, and haven't even done a full circle of it. So it's nice, very spacious, lots of room to stretch out. But a lot of modern urban designers would absolutely hate my neighborhood. They'd trash it. Say, oh, it's not connected to nothing. And they're not wrong. It's not connected to anything. You have to get in a car to go somewhere from here. Let's see, I don't see a ton of people on the playground right now, so maybe we can cut through here without causing a scene. So you see we got a little parking here. That always becomes a point of contention because our HOA doesn't really charge a lot, so they don't really pay to maintain a lot, and everybody's like, well, how much do we want to bother with? And I don't know, I don't have the answer. So we got our old basketball goal up over here. Hope you can see it all that well. Sun's super bright. There you go. Got our old little play equipment over here. And then we got our old baseball field. We got a fence up. I mean, A catcher fence kind of ain't gonna really do a lot, but we got a little pavilion. The pavilion is kind of cool. It's a little pavilion. But the thing is like we don't even have any plumbing or outhouses out here because we don't even want to pay to maintain that, which I understand. But like, so that's where my friend who used to be on the HOA board kind of gets annoyed. He's like, if we're gonna spend no money on this, why bother having it? But I don't think he's gonna get them to get rid of this little park. So I don't know what that person's doing. I'm gonna stay over here. No, hopefully not have to talk to them. So yeah, my other friend, he lives right over here in this red brick house. We watch the fireworks together. The city puts on a big fireworks display every July 4th, and we go watch that because that's only a 10-minute drive from here too. So looks like you might be fertilizing over there, I think. You can see the park's just a big grass field in the middle of the neighborhood. And of course, you can hear planes coming over because we are on the flight path. We're also only a 10-minute drive from the airport. So, and it's not a super busy airport. It's only got like, I want to say 20 gates. But, now it does fly to some places. Like I take a direct flight to Philadelphia a lot. And it also goes to Denver now too, so I'm hoping to do that one of these days. Take a flight out to Denver because I've never made it out to Denver. But it's pretty cool being able to just drive over 10 minutes to the airport, not being a very busy airport at all where there's no lines, and fly to Philadelphia. It's pretty cool. Now we're coming on, this is sort of the busy road over here. This is where all the traffic has to come in to go through the neighborhood. So, we don't run into people here. So funny, you see a mix of like sports cars and then like newer soccer mom SUVs. And every once in a while you see a few pickups. And over here's their little building. They keep all the neighborhood documents. And there's our tornado siren. Run if we have to worry about a tornado. There's a little building to keep the thing in. I think it used to be able to vote there. It used to be its own voting precinct, but now you have to go over to the firehouse or the courthouse. And a huge deal. Nothing's that far away here, unless you're trying to walk. Now we're gonna go over and see if we can catch a good front view of the neighborhood, and then I'll stop filming before people ask me, what are you filming around here? And you can hear all the birds. There are tons of birds around here, which is pretty fun for the most part. I don't really see them tear up much. Cat hangs out in my yard all the time, so I don't know whose it is, but it just hangs out in my yard. So, and this is really weird. This house up here on the left, I don't know if you can see the sign from it, it's where all the cars are. It's for sale by owner. So I don't know how much they're asking for it. They don't have anything on their sign except for bedrooms, bathrooms, and a phone number, which makes you kind of suspicious what's going on in there. You gotta watch out. Traffic comes along here a lot. So yeah, it would be kind, I don't know. I can't decide if I wish there were sidewalks or not. I guess it's fine without sidewalks. I don't know. I do also kind of wonder how many people had 2 cars when they first built this neighborhood. a bunch of cars trickling in now as people are looking at that house. Oh. There's the light. Hey, what's up? Just walking. I'll be back in a second. There's the wife. So I might as well get on home, but I'll take one last shot so you can see what the entrance of the neighborhood looks like. There it is, the giant parkway entrance to the neighborhood. And it just goes along about 10 houses down either direction. That's how you get in. Thank you for stopping by today.